So in our last class, we discussed about how we can use file handling in Python. Okay, like how we can create our own files and all. Okay, by using Python coding. I hope as of now things are clear to each and everyone. Is that so? As of now, everything is clear, everyone. Am I audible, everyone? Give your answer. Okay, so no problem if you're not okay. Good. Now, so let's talk about some more thing by using file handling. Okay. So now I'm starting with a project with file handling. Okay. Basically, what I want to do, uh, I want to take values from user, okay, their name. Like basically, I want to create a record. Okay, I want to generate a record. Okay, and like suppose I want to take a value from user, like their name, their address, okay, their phone number, these kinds of information. I want to take a value from user, and then after taking the user value, I need to store that information in a file, in a text file. I want to store all this information. That is what exactly I want to do. The question is clear, everyone? Let me know. Okay, let's see how we can do this. So to take a value from user, like for that I'm going to create a new file here, and that is project for file handling. Mm, okay, let's see. So for that, let's take a value from user first of all. I want to create a record kind of thing. Okay, a record I want to generate. So first of all, I'm printing here the value like a data feeding application I want to create. Okay, so welcome to data feeding application. Okay, now, so for that, we have multiple options. Either we can store the information of an employee, we can add a new record, we want to delete a record, we want to show the information, we want to exit from that thing. Okay, that is what we need to tell here. So I'm using a print. I'm showing the menu here. The first menu is the first menu is add new record. Okay, or add new employee record, add new employee or student record, anything you can use here. Okay, then second one is the second option is delete employee record, delete employee record. Okay, then suppose I want to show the information of the employee, so print 3 show record of employee, show employee record, show employee record. Okay, that is these are the things which I'm going to tell you that how we can do this. Okay, and after that exit from this thing, so print fourth one is exit. So I'm using here exit. I don't want to do anything out of it. Okay, let's see how we can do this thing. So let's see, first of all, let's run this code. Run. Okay, So now we have four options are there, okay, in data feeding application. First one is add new employee record, delete employee record, show employee record, and exit. Okay, these are the things which we have. Now what I am going to do here is I want to take a value from you that what user want to do, whether he or she want to add a record or delete a record or show the information or exit from that thing. So in that case, I'm taking value from the user. Okay, so I'm using here n equals to any other variable name you can take, int input. So same thing, enter the option you want to perform. Okay, enter the option you want to perform. Okay, so the options are 1, 2, 3, 4. Any option we can choose. Now the thing is, if user press enter, then we need to add the employee information. No, so I'm using here if n is equals to 1, print record added. Okay, obviously we need to add multiple things here. We need to add the record, but for now, I'm just writing some method here. Okay, now the next thing is if I can use here elif also, but here I'm using here if. So if n is equals to 2, I'm printing here 2 means deleting record. So delete record or record deleted. So record deleted. If the option is 3, if n is equals to 3, print record display. Okay, and if n is equals to 4, okay, what I want to do, just take a break from here. Okay, I want to go from there now. So let's see how it works actually. Run this code. Okay, okay. So what we can do here, yes. So in this case, I can say if record added, let me remove that break. For now, I'm going to remove it. I'm using a pass. Okay, let's see. Run this code and you can see here, add new employee record. I'm using here, so enter the option you want to perform. I want to add the information record. You can see record added. Same way, we have lots of other options are there, okay, which we can use. Run this code. This time, suppose I want to delete information. Same way, we have lots of options are there. Now, what I want to do, after that, when the user is giving you the option as 1, so I want to take a value from the name, the contact number, and all these things, no? And then I want to store all this thing over there. Okay, I need what I want when user gives you the answer as 1. So I need to enter the name of the person or whatever information I want to take from the user. Okay, and that will feed the data over there. So how we can do this? Let's see. So first of all, suppose I'm writing the value for the data addition. Okay, so I'm using here, I'm creating it in a function format. Okay, over here. That you need to clear the concept of file handling, which we have discussed in our last class. I'm using here def data additions. I'm using here add function. And I'm using here enter the, first of all, I want to enter the ID of the person. So employee ID. Employee ID is equals to, I'm using here input, enter the employee ID. Okay. Then name of the employee. So name is equals to, I'm using input, enter the name of the employee. Okay, you will understand when we are going to run this code, no? Then contact number of that person. So I'm using here CN or the phone number. I'm using here input, enter the contact number of the employee. Okay. And then the last one, the state of the person. Okay. Any other information you can add here. I'm just using your employee ID, name, contact number, and state. You can use any other information. So input, enter the state of the employee. Okay. Now, what will happen? That will only take a value from user. What I want to store the information. No, I want to store all the information in my file. So for that, we need to create a file also. No, so in that case, to create the file, first of all, let me create the file by my own. Okay, and then we'll update over there, or you can create a file also. Okay, so I'm using here file is equals to any other variable you can take. I'm using here, and that is for creating a file to, I'm writing a comment here, creating a file to store all this information. Okay, so F equals to, I'm using open the name of the file I'm using here, employee info.txt, and I'm using here append mode. Why? Because it may be possible that multiple times you're going to call that add function. So every time if I'm using a W mode to create the file, it removes the previous information. So I'm using a append mode. That also going to create the file. Okay. And then append it multiple times. And then whatever information I'm getting from the user, I want to write all that thing in this employee information.txt file. Let's see how we can do this. So I'm using here f dot write. What I want to write? I want to write the value of the EID. So EID I want to write. And in between, I want to use some space also. Otherwise, after adding employee ID, we need some space in between. So I want to add some tab space. Concatenate with a tab space. Let's copy it from here. Control C. Paste it for 4 times. V, and V. So for EID, for name, for contact number, and for the state. Okay, and then after writing the state, I'm using here /n for the next line. Okay, because if I want to store another information, I want to use it in the next line. Okay, so what will happen? And then after adding all these things, I want to print here that record is added. Okay, and then to save all these things, I'm using here close function. That's it. Okay, now here in place of record edit, I'm going to call that add function only. That's it. Let's see how it exactly works. So run this code and let me show you the current work. This is the current working directory of this file. Okay, you can see here we don't have any employee information.txt file. Let's see. Run this code. So I want to add the record of the information. You can see enter the employee ID. I'm using a 4 times 1. Name of the employee, let's use Malika. Contact number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. State, let's use New Delhi. Enter. So that record is added now. But you can see here, what if I want to add more information? So in that case, we are out of that block actually. If I want to repeat that information. I don't want to run that code again and again. I don't want to out of that thing, no. I want to add all this thing into a loop. So if something is done, again I can start from the starting. That is what I want. But first of all, before that, let me check whether the file is created or not. So you can see employee information is created at 7:7. Open this file and you can see 111 Malika, contact number and New Delhi is added here. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? Let me know how this thing works. Each and everyone. So basically, if you're pressing 1 here, it calls the add function. Here is the add function. Okay. Then it take a value from the employee ID, name, contact number, and state. And then it creates a file we are using an append mode. Why? Because if I'm using a W mode, it creates every time the new file whenever I'm going to press 1. And then write all these information of name, EID, CN, and state in that same file. And then to save all these things, close function. And the message for the user is record is added. Now I want to run this code one more time. Configure it with a 3. Okay. So the information, again, I want to add a value here. So employee ID, I'm using a trip 4 times 2. Name, I'm using here QWERTY. Phone number, I'm using here this, and state, I'm using here, let's use MP. Run. So that record is also added. Let's see here. And you can see this record is, and why it is in next line, because we are using here /n just after, where is my file? We are using a /n just after that state. So after adding it, after adding this space, it goes to the next line. I hope as of now things are clear to everyone. Is that so? Okay. Now the next thing is what I want. I'm going to store all these things into a loop so that every time I don't need to run that code again and again. Okay. So in that case, I'm using here a loop here. While not here actually. From here I want to do it. Okay, like every time if this process done, again I need to show the menu. So I'm using a while true, that means infinite loop, to store all these things here. Now you can see the difference why I'm doing it. Let's see. Run this code again. Just run this code one more time. So enter the inform. So again, I want to perform that first. Enter the employee ID 3333. Any other employee ID you can take. Name this time I'm using here. Let's use Rohan. Contact number 2222. Okay. State. Let's use UP. So you can see record is added, and again we got the same menu. That is because of the while loop. Okay, again, now you don't need to run that code. One by one, it goes again and again. Okay, now, so just after that, again, I want to add information. 4444. Name, this time I'm using here people, any name you can take here. Okay, contact number, and then the state. Maharashtra. Okay, so the code is added here, you can see. Okay, let me use the option. Okay, again you can perform the same operation here. So let's see the data here, employee information, all these information are already there. Okay, now this is how you can add the information of the employee. Now I just don't want to add the information, I want to like delete. I want to have more other options also, like deleting the data, show the data of the employee, and so on. So again, for that, for all these things, we need to create a function for that. Okay, so in this case I'm using here, mm, after adding the data, now I'm going to define the data for the deletion of the data. Okay, or before deletion, let me tell you how you can show the data. So I'm using a def show. Okay, and I'm using here, first of all, if you want to show any information, you need to access data for the reading purpose. So what I can do, just copy it from here. Control C, Control V. So the same file I want to open, and I just want to read it because I want to show the data. Okay, and then I just want to print the information of that data. So I'm using here print the value of the ID I want to show. So ID of that person is this. Okay, because I can not only say you this is the information 111 222. We need to define a labeling also. Know that this is the ID, this is the name, all these things. So we need to mention it here also. So first value is the ID. Space is tab. Next value is name. Again tab space. Next value is contact number. So contact. Here I can just use CN, or phone I can use here, phone slash T, and then the state of that person, and then slash and I can use here for the next line. Okay, this is what we can do, and then just show the data. Okay, so just read the data. I can use here f dot read function. That's it, and just print record show, just to define it. Now let's see whether it works or not. So save this file, run this code. So enter the option you want to perform. This time I want to show the employee record. So 3. And you can see record display and we have no information here. Let's see why. Why this is happening. Let's see. So when the person add the information here, okay, I need to call this first answer, no? That show function. Let's see. Run this code. Okay. Third option, and you can see the ID of the data is this, the name of these employees are this, phone number is this, and state is this. Okay, is that clear everyone? Let me know. Here we can add more information, like more space we can add. Okay, now I want to add one more data. So employee ID 5555, name I'm using here Mohan, contact number is this, and state of the employee is UP again. And you can see again I want to show the employee information. I hope you are able to understand whatever we are doing here. Is that so? Again I want to show the information, so you can see this data is again added here. Okay, so this is how you can store the information like this. Okay, now the next thing is, what if I want to delete the information of any data of any employee? So again we have we need to define a function for that, for data deletion. Let's see how we can delete information of data of an employee. So again, function is needed. Let me increase the size. So for deletion, I'm using here def del. Anything you can use. Delete, let's use, because del is a keyword, that's why I'm not using it. Okay, and then so which employee information you want to delete, you need to mention it over there. Delete, it is T. You need to mention the ID of, because that is the unique ID. We have some unique ID, because name could be duplicate, but ID is a primary number here. No, that is a unique value for everyone. So take a value from the user, which employee information you want to delete, compare it, that which data is matched, this data matched with this ID, and then remove the data from there. So first of all, we need to take a value from here, that what is the employee ID of that person. So I'm using an I equals to input, and enter the employee ID of the person, of the employee, to remove the data. So enter the employee ID of the employee to remove the record. Okay, and then we need to open the file, compare it one by one for that ID, and if matched, remove it. So I'm using here with open that file. So the file name is employee info.txt. This file I want to open as a read. Okay, and let me use it as a small, and why I'm using a with keyword here. Otherwise we need to open this, it will take, it will for saving all these things. No, now we don't need to use that close function. We don't need that close function anymore. Okay, it will by default, after removing all these things from there, okay, it updates all these things without using the close function. That's why I'm using here with, okay, as the variable name, any name you can take. I'm using here any variable name a equals to f dot read lines function. Now I'm using here. What is read lines? To read each and every line one by one. Okay, that is for read lines. Read is going to read all these things from here, but read line is going to read one by one the line. Okay, after reading the line, what we want to do? I want, if the data is matched, remove it. If not matched, don't remove it. So I'm using here will. Again, after reading all the lines from there, I'm going to compare it. Again, open this file, employee info dot. If you are unable to understand, no need to worry about that. We'll discuss it again. Okay. Okay. So this time I'm opening this file with the WQ. I'm creating the same file with the same data. You can understand why I'm doing it. As again, the f variable, any variable name you can take here also. So for x in a, and then I'm using here d1 equals to, let's use here x1 equals to x dot split function. This time I'm using here tab value 1. You can understand why I'm doing it. If d1 of 0 is not equals to 1, is not equals to basically the value of I actually. Okay, what is I here? You can understand this is the input value. Is not equals to I, then just write all these values over. Let me show you. I'm using here f dot write lines the value of d. Now let me show you how it works and then we'll explain it exactly. Any format file can be opened with read lines. Basically we are doing here for the txt value. Okay, for the next line you can directly use this. That is work on excel file also, the read lines file. Okay, now so let's see whether it work or not. If there is any error, then we'll check it. We need to call the function also. So for deletion, I'm using calling the delete function from here. Let me show you exactly how it does all these things. So basically what will happen now? So if you want to remove any information of the employee, no, we need to take a employee ID because that is the unique value for the person. So if I'm using here, let's use 2222 value I want to remove. Okay, this data is employee ID data I want to remove. Okay, now with open, it opens the file in read mode and read each and every line of the data. From here, it reads each and every line of the data. Okay, after reading each and every line of that data, okay, what it will do, see, in A, we have all these reading lines of the data. Now, again, it opens the file in W mode. That means, again, it creates a new file with the same name and then it checks for x in a. In x, now we have one by one all these lines in the inside the text from this a. Because at first in x we have we have this whole row. Now it checks x1 equals to x dot split is split with tab 1. So it is split this data with the tab space. So it splits whenever we got a tab space, it split that x. So we got a tab space here and it is split. So now in x1 we just have 1 1 1 1 and it compares that if d1 of 0, it's not d1 actually, it's x1, sorry. If x1 of 0, if x1 of 0, x1 of 0 is nothing but 1 1 1 1. If x1 of 0, that is 1 1 1 1, is not equals to I. I is what? I is nothing but 2 2 2 2. So yes, it is true. It is not equals to 2. So read lines D. That means store it in the same file. Write all these lines in the new file. Again, because it is in a loop, again now in X we have this value. Okay, so in X now we have this whole row, and again x1 equals to, now again in x1 dot split tab 1. That means whenever you got this tab space, split the data from the data, so it splits. Now in x1 we just have 2 2 2 2. Okay, and check if x1 is not equals to I. So this time I we have 2 2 2 2, it is equals to this. So if it is true, then only write this thing in the file. Otherwise, don't need to do anything from here. So it will not write this line, this whole row in the same employee.txt file. Again, now in next one we have 3 3 3 3 3. Okay, again it checks. So again 3 3 3 3 is not equals to 2 2 2 2. So it write the lines in the same file and so on. So it restores all the file except that, except this row 2 2 2 2 QRT and 888. Okay, this is the process we are doing here. Let's see. So let's see, let's run this code again. So I want to remove an information. So 2 I'm using. 2 2 2 2. Any information you can delete. So name D is not defined. Did you means ID? Let's see. Okay, so basically we need to write here the value of x1, no? So that is the mistake which we are doing here. Let's use it. The value of x. Now this time I'm using here 3333. So, okay, add new employee. Let's see whether, okay, so I have not write any information here, no, that record removed. Let's write here print record deleted. Okay, now let's check first of all whether it is removed or not. So, okay, there is some mistake in this file, I guess. Let me check one more time. So, take a input, open the same file, read the file, and then write. Okay, good. Okay, so yes, read lines. Good. Then again, open the file, create the file, and then access all these things from X. And then x1 equals to x dot split with the space of tab. And then if is not equals to I, right line is the value of x. It is correct. Let me check it one more time. I guess there is some. What is it? Let's run this code one more time, okay? First of all, let me check the file from here. So 0 KB, okay? Run that file once again. Let's see what is. I'm going to add the file here. So one, let's use here 1 2 3 4. Name I'm using here QWERTY. Contact number 111. This number, and then employee state I'm using here Delhi. Record added. Second, employee information. Again, I want to add the information of the employee. 2 3 4 5. Name. Let's use here Sonali. Any name we can add here. Contact number and the state. Okay. Now the next thing is option. Now then enter the option you want to perform. Now let me show the data here. So this is the data. Now I want to remove this 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm using here third one. So, okay. Okay, I need to enter here the second one, 2. So enter the employee ID. So I'm using here 1, 2, 3, 4 and record deleted. Okay. Again, I'm going to show the data and this one is okay. So now it is done. Okay. So you can see here that data is removed from here. I'm removing this data from here and now one data is now available here, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. So is it clear now? I want to exit from here. So 4. Okay. So in 4, it is not exit. So what we can do here, we can just apply here. From this code once again. Show the data and then 4. So do you want to kill the process? Okay. So let me know everyone if that is clear. Are you able to use file handling to store the information of the data or not? Each and every line is clear to everyone or not? Again, you can apply other logics also here. Okay. It totally depends on you. But I'm just giving you an overview that how we can do this actually. Okay. Now, if that is clear, now let's create one more, that is not a project, but I'm going to show you how we can create a kind of XML file by using Python. So tell me everyone, do you know anything about XML files? Okay, anyone else? So I got a mail regarding project submission. Will you elaborate? Yes, but after this topic. Okay, Diti? Yeah. So let me know everyone, do you know anything about XML files? Dikshit is saying no. Anyone else? Okay, what about Pradeep? So basically, what is basically so do you know anything about HTML files, everyone? Do you know HTML files? Do you know anything about HTML files? Used to create static web pages, markup language, exactly. What is HTML? HTML is a markup language by which is basically used to create an architecture of any website, either it is static or dynamic. Okay. Now, so and it only run on browser. Okay, a browser can only understand HTML. Okay, same way we have XML also. That is also markup language. It also runs. It also run on web browser. Okay, let's see how we can create an XML file by using Python. Okay, so in HTML, no, whatever program we need to create, whatever coding we need to do in markup languages is done by the tags. Okay, a tag is something which is written in between the anchor bracket. Okay, like HTML tag or break tag or HR tag. These kinds of tags are there which we are using to create an architecture of a website. Table tag, form tag. Okay, in XML also, all these things we can do by using the tags. But the difference between XML and HTML in coding is in HTML we have predefined tags are there, but in XML you can use any name tag as per your interest, as per your convenience. So let's see how we can create a XML file by using Python programming, using file handling. Okay. So let's see what exactly I want to create. So I want to get this kind of file. HOD, any kind of tags you can use. I'm using some random tags here because in XML we can use any name tag. Let's use here teacher tag or professor tag. In teacher tag, I'm writing here subject. Subject, let's use here Python. Close it. Then I'm using here subject and Mm, let's use course. Course, I'm using a CSC, any course name you can take. So close that tags. Again, you can write multiple coding here, but I'm just writing a smallest one. Close that teacher tag and then close the root tag, which is HOD tag. Okay, so this is what exactly I want to create. Okay, now let's see how we can do all these things. If you want, you can add multiple sub tags over there. Okay, but I'm going to create this one. So here you can see this one is the root tag. Okay, which starts from here to here. All these coding is in between the root tag. In between the root tag, we have one more tag here, which is inside that root tag. And the subject and course are the sub tags of this teacher tag. Let's see how we can create this particular XML file by using file handling in Python. Okay, let's see. So in that case, I'm going to create it here. Now, let's see. Creating XML file in Python. Let's see. So first of all, we need to import whatever you want to do. You don't need to do it from the scratch. For everything, we have a library and that I'm going to import here. So import XML. In XML is a very big library. We don't need all that thing. Inside XML, we have a module called eTree. Okay, inside eTree, we have a value called elementary, which exactly we want to use. Elementary. Okay. And I don't want to use every time that XML eTree element tag. So I'm using an alias name here, which is XML. Any other name also you can use, but I'm using an XML. Okay. Now, so let's create the file first of all. So I'm creating it by the function. So def my XML file or any other name you can take, and I'm passing a parameter here, which is let's use file name. Okay. Now, so here first of all, I'm going to create my root tag. And to create a tag by using Python programming of XML, we need a function called element that is in elementary. Let's see how we can use this. So I'm using a root equals to any variable here you can pick, but I'm using a root. You can use any other variable name. It is just a variable only. So XML dot element function to create a tag in XML by using Python element. Oh. So what is the name of that particular root tag? The name of the root tag is HOD. So let's use it here. So HOD tag. Now inside the HOD tag, we have teacher tag also. This is the tag actually. Let me write it here. Inside that HOD tag, we have teacher tag. Inside teacher tag, we have sub tags here, subject. In subject tag, we have Python. We need to close that subject tag, and then we have a course tag here. In course, we have CSC course. Close that course, and then close that teacher tag and that HOD tag. Okay, let's see how we can do this. So HOD tag is created here. Now let's create a teacher tag also. So again, T equals to, I'm using here XML dot element because I want to create a tag here. So the name is teacher tag. That's it. So two tags are created. Now, because this teacher tag is inside the HOD tag, so we need to use it like this. Inside the, just append the teacher tag inside that root tag. Okay, root dot append the value of t. That's it. Now I need to create a subject tag and the course tag because HOD and teacher tag is generated. Now let's see. So I want to create that subject tag that is a sub tag of this teacher tag. So sub element we function we need to use. I'm using here subject. So I'm using here S1 equals to XML dot sub element. Now we need to mention here for which, so subtag I want to get is the subject. Subject. but we need to mention here for which tag you want to create a sub tag. So I want to create this subject sub tag for this teacher tag. But we have a value also here. The value is Python. So I'm using here s1 dot text is equals to Python. Same way, let me copy it from here. Control C, Control V. Now we have h2 value, which is the course tag actually. So course tag, that too for this sub tag of this teacher tag. So that is mentioned over here, and then h2.txt equals to CSE. Now everything is done. Now what we need to do? So after creating all these things, no, now we need to create a file where I want to store all, because it always run in a browser. So we need to store all this thing into a text file kind of thing. Okay, text editor we want. So I'm going to store all this thing into a text file, and for that we need a text. We need to use a file handling, no. So I'm using here. Let me store all these thing into a variable so that we can directly write all these thing in the file. So I'm using here tree equals any variable name you can take. I'm using a tree equals to xml dot element tree of the value of root. Now basically all inside this root tag we have all these tags are there. So I'm using here root. So now in this tree variable can hold all these things which is inside that whole xml file. Now we need to store all these things, the value of tree in a file also. So let me write all these things by using file handling. So I'm using here with, again, because I didn't want to close this file after closing it, so I'm using here open. I want to create a file, anything which I'm going to call that my ML function, my XML function, any name you can take. Here I'm passing here abc.xml, so it creates abc.xml, the name of the file. What will be the value of file name? And because I want to create the file, so W mode. And because the file is going to run on net in browser, so WB mode, object file. As a variable called def or any other variable you can take, and then tree dot write all these things over here, the value of f. That's it. This is how we can do. And then let's call the function my ml function. Name of the file I'm going to create abc.xml. abc.xml. And you can see here in my current working directory, we have not any kind of XML file, which is abc.xml. Let's see. Let's run this code. No error. You can see file is created abc.xml. That is a file. Double click on it and you can see here HOD. Inside HOD tag we have teacher tag, then we have subject and course tag. In subject we have Python, in course we have CSE, teacher tag, and then the HOD tag. Okay, it is not appearing here because it is not supported by the XML actually, but the tags are already appeared over there. Okay, is that clear everyone? Let me know. This is how we can create an XML file also by using Python. Okay, and all these things are done by the file handling. So file handling is very important, everyone. Okay, that's why I discussed a project also, that you can easily understand that if you want to store, suppose if you're creating a project of restaurant management system or library management system, so that you can use these kinds of, if you don't want to use library management system, if you don't want to use like database, so you can use file handling also to store the information of that data. Okay, is that clear as of now, everyone? Let me know. Any query as of now, anyone? Okay, that is what I'm going to discuss after that. Any query as of now in file handling? Okay. So in the next class, we are going to learn about exception handling. Okay, that is also a very important point in Python programming. Okay, now let me discuss the project part. Okay, so let me open that mail also. So the value is call for project. Let me open that mail. Just a minute. Okay. So let's see. Basically, this is this kind of mail you're getting in your email, I guess. Okay. So basically, what you need to do after completing this Python programming session, you need to create a project that whatever you learn in this whole course, in this whole internship, you need to create a project on it. Okay, any kind of project you can create. Okay, I will share a video also with all of you so that you can understand more clearly that what are the topic you need to choose. Okay, any topic you can choose to create a project report as per your interest. Don't use that tic-tac-toe game, snake game, that kind of programs to submit the project report. Okay, handman kind of project, because that is very much viral in the YouTube. So don't copy from there. Okay, try to create your own genuine project. Okay, any topic you can choose as per your interest. Now, after creating the project, okay, what you need to do, you need to create a report of that project. Okay, now how we can create a report. Now let me tell you one more thing, that you can create that project in a group also or as an individual also. Okay, in a batch we have multiple students are there, so if you want you can create a same batch group also, of maximum of 2 to 4 persons of a group. If you want you can create a individual project as well. After creating the project, you need to create a report of the project. In the report, you need to mention the first page of that report is a cover page where you need to specify the project title. I will show you a sample project also, so no need to worry about that. Project title, the person submitting to and by. For that, you need to refer below, and that is the report must be referred to these 2 persons, need to be mentioned on cover page of report. So for all students, you need to mention Mr. Mayur Dev Sevak. Just copy it from here and paste it in the cover page. And whoever your subject trainer, you need to mention that person. So because you are doing Python programming, copy this information and paste it over there. Okay, now after that you need to create a content table or index table where you need to mention the serial number, title and page number. Okay, then list of the figure if you are using any figure or graphics in your project report. List of tables if you are using any notation if you are using any, you need to mention. Abstract of the project you need to mention. The report project summary you need to mention. The objective of the project, like from where you get the motivation to create the project, the plan of research you are doing in to create the project, the methodology you are using and so on. The details of the project, and the system requirement if any. Data flow diagram or the algorithm of the project step by step. Input and output screenshot of the project. Image or video if you are referring over there. Then the source code screenshot and the reference if you are getting from any website or from any video, you need to mention it over there. Now, after that, you need to understand some formatting specification. That is, the font type in the report should always be in Calibri or edited. That means do not use any kind of stylish kind of font type which is not understood by anyone. So always try to use the simplest kind of, which is clearly visible to each and everyone, kind of font type, like Times New Roman or Calibri kind of thing. The font size for normal text it should be 12. For headings it should be 14. For major headings it should be 16. And for the figure caption it should be 10. The font color should always in formal kind of color or in black shade. Okay, don't use red, green, blue kind of color in your project report. The page size should be A4. The orientation should be portrait and the file type should be PDF. So create a file in docs and then convert into PDF file to submit it. After that, there is only one way to sub. Now if you want you can mention the official logo also, so click on it to get the logo of the company. This is our LinkedIn profile. If you want, you can check it. That is more information about us. You can click on it to get the information. Now, the next thing is, if you want, now, after creating the report, now you need to submit the report also. So there is only one way to submit the report, and that is by clicking on this link. Okay. This is the only way to submit the project report. By clicking on this link, you will get a Google form where you need to mention your name, your college name, your email address, your project title. Like if you're creating a chatbot, so write the name of that project title. So your phone number, your online internship subject. Suppose if you are a student of data science specialization or a student of, like, suppose Python plus machine learning. So always choose here Python program, because this subject is going for Python programming, not for specialization. Okay, because if you're doing the specialization, if you're going to choose a specialization thing, no, in that case, one by one, first of all, you need to start with the Python programming. So submit the project of Python programming, then submit the project of machine learning or data science, then for Tableau, and so on. Okay, so here you need to choose the Python programming subject for everyone. Okay, and then the duration of the course, and then the project report, you need to submit it here, upload it here, and the file must not exceed 10 MB, and it should always be in PDF file. And then follow us on LinkedIn and take a screenshot and upload it here. It is very important. Why? Because after, suppose if you like if you're connected with us on LinkedIn, in that case, we got lots of calls whenever you are like after doing the internship. No, we are getting multiple calls. Like if you are selected in some company, we got some call like this, whether you were in our company or not, you were doing some internship in our company or not. So in that case, we need to connect forever. So in that case, always connect us on LinkedIn, so that we can connect together, so that we can directly check you and let them know. Okay, because we can check on the database, but it is more important to check it on the LinkedIn also. Then if you are a working professional or school, or if you are a student of a school, or if you're a student of a college, or if you're a student, if you're a working professional, you need to mention your training placement officer. If you're in a college, you need to mention your principal name if you're in a school, and if you are a working professional, you need to mention your team manager name over here, and the contact number and the email address of that person, and then you are eligible to submit that thing. Okay, then only you can submit the project report, and this is the only way to submit the project report. Okay, now we have some other information also, and that is the file size must not exceed 10 MB, and that will always be in PDF file only. Last date, that is mentioned in your own project report, in your own project mail. Okay, so that is a previous, that is a very old mail actually. So you can check the dates on your old email. Then you can create the project in a individual or in a group also. Then we are not accepting project reports via email as a reply to this mail or to the trainer. So we would like to comply the process, and the process is to always to submit the report, click on this link and submit the report. That is the only process. If I submit the project report via the reply of this mail or to the trainer, that will not consider as a submitted the project report. Okay, then that date is also mentioned in your email, that when you can expect the certificate. If you're having any technical query, you can mail to your trainer. If you're having any query related to your like suppose certificate and all, so you can click on it. You will get you need to raise a support ticket for that. Okay, so click on the link of a support. Everything is mentioned over there. Okay, then you can see raise your support request by clicking here. So click on it to raise your support ticket. Fill the Google form, and our team will get back to you within 1 to 2 days. Okay, and then we have lots of other informations are there. You can check it out. Now let me show you the sample report. How many pages it may take? It it totally depends on your project actually, but it like 10 to 11 pages is the minimum. Okay, and the maximum could be anything. Okay, let me show you the sample report also. Try to create better than that. It is just a sample. So the first page, project name, submitting to For every person, 2% need to be mentioned here. So Mr. Mayur Sevak and the subject trainer. Submitting by. So if you want, you can create a project report in individual or in a group also. So if you're creating the project report in group, mention all your group members. And all the group members need to submit the project report individually. Okay? And if you are an individual creating the project, just mention your name here. Then the index table, list of the figures, data flow diagram. All the figure names are mentioned here. Abstract of the project, project summary, objective of project, details of project developed, step-by-step method, system requirement, data flow diagram, input-output screenshot of the project, okay, and then the whole data here, then the whole source code here, the screenshot of the source code, and the references. This is how you need to create a project report by yourself, okay, and the project. So try to create better than that. Any query as of anyone? Okay, so start creating your project. Okay. Also, let me give you the link by which you can see that how we can, what kind of topic you can choose for your project. Okay. So just a minute. Just a minute. That is already, I have created for that. Just a minute. Hmm. So you can use this link to get like which kind of topic you can choose for a project report. Okay, you can see this link that all I created that video just for all of you so that you can understand that which kind of project you can create for Python. Okay. Now for any other kind of query, you can just let me know. You can mail me or you can ask me in the class also. Okay. Or you can connect me on LinkedIn if you're having any query. Okay. Any query as of now, anyone regarding project or project report? Okay. So for now, I'm going to close this session. From the next class, we're starting with exception handling. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night.